Hey, welcome to the week 2 Bud Baller review. This is a week of beatdowns and one unfortunate loss for some poor manager in our league. We'll get into it. First of all, quick shout out to Mr. Tim Trey. He and I played in a disc golf tournament this past weekend, placed in the money, and won ourselves a little bit of prize money, won ourselves a couple discs, looking good. Okay, what happened here? Like I said, this is basically a week of beatdowns. None of the matchups were close. Off the top of from the top heap, I baited on Tom. Alec just fucking to Nick. Chris never stood a chance versus John. Jackson just had a rough week, and Tim got to roll over him, and Sawyer put some unfortunate hurting on Drew. Okay, what do we have here? So me versus Tom. This is a really close matchup, going for most of the week until probably I think Friday is when I started to pull away. I had the most threes in the league this week. Was pretty high, almost the most steals. Embiid and AD was going off. He was definitely my MVP this week. 96 points, 47 rebounds, 11 assists, and 8 double-doubles. Not a ton, but enough to beat Tom, unfortunately. And I think I had almost 5 more players than him on the week, so that could be a part of it. But an 8-2 victory, we're going to take it home. I would have been 7-2 this week. Only would have lost to Alec and Sawyer in third place, right behind Tim and Sawyer, but a one-game win streak put myself in the positive column. I'm happy about it. Tom, on the other hand, would have been 2-5-2. Only would have beat Nick and Jackson and would have tied John and Tim. But that's how that one went. Next, we had Alec versus Nick, and Alec put an unworldly beating on Nick. Almost 400 rebounds for Alec's team, 393. Had the most points, the most rebounds, the most steals, tied for the most double-doubles, and a triple-double to boot. He would have whooped up on everybody. Choo-choo, the mega doo-doo Al train is coming through, boys. Watch out. His team is playing out of this fucking world right now. I was kind of talking to him at Tom's party earlier this week. I think Valanciunas is, I wouldn't say overperforming, but with Zion not there, he's getting all the offensive run. He's getting to collect as many boards as he wants. That'll probably dip a little bit when Zion comes back, if he's healthy, but I don't think that's going to be enough to knock Al out of, even though he's not put in the top 3 spots right now, he is definitely a top 3 team so far in this early season. Jimmy Butler, the MVP in that matchup, we'll get to him. He is our Yahoo Player of the Week. But yeah, Nick just never stood a chance. He was within 10 threes. They were only separated by 1 block, but almost a 30 steal difference, 15 double-doubles to 3, over 170 more rebounds, over 250 more, almost 250 more points. Like it just wasn't even close. Alec, 9-0, wouldn't have lost to a soul. 1-1 this year, 1-game win streak in the positive column as well. Things are looking good. Meanwhile, Nick, I think down there, 6th place right now, only would have been 1-7-1. Only W would have come versus Jackson, but would have tied John. 1-game losing streak for Mr. Nick. Okay, Chris and John. I wouldn't say either team played phenomenal, but it was close enough for these two guys. But John's team just did enough to put it away. Chris did have 83 threes, which is, I think, close to his second or third most in the league this week. But John had over 170 more points, close to 60 more rebounds, 30 more assists. Won both of the stock categories, even though he just won blocks by 1. But John, for back-to-back weeks, has had the most turnovers in the league. Don't see that stopping anytime soon. John, 9 double-doubles to Chris' 6. MVP for John's going to be Luka, 90 points, 31 rebounds, 26 assists, 2 double-doubles. John also getting that first win of the year. John only would have been 3-4-2 this week. His W's would have come versus Chris, Tim, and Jackson. would have tied Tom and Nick. Good for 1-1. Right now, technically tied for third place, but sitting in fourth. Meanwhile, Christopher would have been 3-6, only would have been 3-6, would have beaten Tom, Nick, or Jackson, but unfortunately it's a 2-game slide for Chris. He finds himself tied for ninth. Got some work to do. Let's see. Next, we had Tim versus Jackson. I know the score says 6-4, but this was still a pretty healthy beatdown on Tim's part. Won by almost 23s, close to 200-point difference, over 30 rebound difference, over 25 assist difference. Jackson did win both of the stock categories and turnovers, but if you're only pulling away with those three categories, not much is going to be working out for you, unfortunately. Tim's MVP this week going to be Tatum, 91 points, 29 rebounds, 13 assists, and 1 double-double. Jackson just had a rough go of it, unfortunately, this week. He would have been 0-9, not a win versus anyone, and I'm afraid I'm going to cancel Steve Aoki for you until you finally get a W. So no more Steve Aoki on the iPod for you, buddy. Meanwhile, Tim sitting in first place right now, 2-0. Tim also only 3-5-1 this week. Only would have beaten Jackson, Nick, and Chris in a tie versus Tom, so a little bit of schedule luck for him, but hey, a win's a win, and he's sitting in first. And finally, Sawyer versus Drew. Drew, I feel bad for you here. I'm going to praise Sawyer because Sawyer's team put the hurting down, but Drew was unfortunately screwed this week. He would have been 6-3. Only would have lost to Sawyer, myself, and Alex. So had he been playing a majority of anyone else in the league, he would have won. But it did not fall that way for Drew. Sawyer had the highest field goal this week, the most assists, tied for the most double-doubles, and also had a triple-double to boot, a 9-2 win. Drew is doing very well in the percentage categories. He's shooting a good amount of threes. 285 rebounds is nothing to shake your head at, lift your nose at, whatever that stupid saying is. And they were only separated by 8 assists. So it was pretty close, only 3 block difference. I will say, Drew, you did a lot. You hung in there. You're making good ad drops. Don't know why you're still picking up Daniel Tice. He's not good at anything, so just get him off of your ad drop or watch list. But Sawyer this week would have been 8-1, only would have lost to Alec in second place, a 2-0 record. Meanwhile, Drew tied for ninth with Chris. Again, 6-3, only would have lost to Sawyer, myself, and Alec. But just some bad luck there. Sawyer's team is just an embarrassment of riches. Giannis is otherworldly. Mikal Bridges scored over 100 points this week. Trae Young is Trae Young. His team just does it all very, very, very well. But anyway, just a quick touch on the categories. Sawyer had the highest field goal with 484. Nick had the highest free throw with 867. I had the most threes with 89. Alec had 904 points, 393 rebounds. Sawyer had the most assists with 190. Alec had the most steals with 63. Jackson had the most blocks with 44. Tim had the fewest turnovers with 67. Alec and Sawyer both put up 15 double-doubles, and Alec, Chris, and Sawyer all had triple-doubles. On to Player of the Week. Yahoo's number one ranked Player of the Week is Mr. Jimmy Buckets, 112 points, 32 rebounds, 21 assists, 13 steals, 2 double-doubles. I would have picked him, but Giannis had a statistically better week, but they aren't putting up higher. I don't know if it's a percentage thing or whatever. Giannis had 123 points. I believe it's 36 rebounds. I typed that wrong in there, but 25 assists. 7 blocks, 3 double-doubles, pretty damn good in my book. And Yahoo's best averaged player this week, also a member of, I believe, Sawyer's team, DeJounte Murray, 22.3 points, 9.0 rebounds, 10.7 assists, and 2.0 steals per game. Pretty freaking good. We got some good matchups coming up this week. It's myself versus Chris. Chris trying to take himself out of the dumpster. I'm trying to keep this win streak going. Nick versus Tom. Finals rematch in Tim versus John. Then we've got Sawyer versus Jackson and Drew versus Alec. Good luck, boys. See you out there.